Today we're going to talk about Kingdom Plantae. Let's watch this video first.
The fourth kingdom is Kingdom Plantae, which includes all plants that are multicellular, autotrophic eukaryotes. Plants are also found in various habitats such as fresh water, sea water, deserts, tropical regions, etc. Plant cells have a cell wall which is made up of carbohydrate cellulose and stores food in the form of starch. The cell wall gives framework and mechanical strength to plant cells. Most of the plant cells contain a green-colored pigment, chlorophyll, present in the chloroplast, which is why they are photosynthetic. A few flowering plants are heterotrophic. Some live in a symbiotic relationship with bacteria. Some plants are insectivorous. For example, the Venus flytrap traps insects and digests them and gains its nutrients. While some plants like Cuscuta are parasitic. That is, they live on other plants for their nutrients. Plants are immobile and do not exhibit locomotion as seen in protists or other animals. Some plants show sexual mode of reproduction, while some show an asexual mode of reproduction. Plant life cycles have two alternating phases, a haploid phase and a diploid phase. The diploid phase is called the sporophyte and produces spores, while the haploid cell is called a gametophyte and produces gametes. Kingdom Plantae is mainly divided into 5 phyla: Bryophyta, Lycopodophyta, Felicynophyta, Coniferophyta, and Angiospermo Fighter. Bryophytes are green plants in which the gametophyte is the dominant generation. They lack the water-conducting and food-conducting vessels, xylem and phloem respectively. Most bryophytes grow on land, but they are largely restricted to damp environments. They do not have true roots, but they are anchored with the help of rhizoids. Liverworts, mosses are the examples of Bryophyta. Lycopodophytes are plants with extremely small, spirally arranged leaves. A good example of the same is club moss. Ferns are Felicynophytes. Their leaves are tightly coiled and uncoiled in their early growth and development. On the lower surface of their leaves are clusters called sori. These sori contain the sporangia required for reproduction. Coniferophytes are cone-bearing plants with both male and female cones, often on the same plant. Their leaves are usually waxy and needle-shaped. Example, pine tree and cycas, etc. The last phylum of Kingdom Plantae is Angiospermo Fighter, which is a dominant group of land plants. They are seed-bearing plants. The seeds are enclosed in a fruit, formed from the ovary. Flowers are unique to the Angiosperms. The development of flowers has been associated with the evolution of complex mechanisms for pollen transfer and seed dispersal. Angiosperms has 2 groups, monocots and dicots. Monocots have only 1 seed leaf inside the seed coat, while dicots have 2 seed leaves inside the seed coat. The leaves of monocots are often long and narrow, with their veins in straight lines running up and down the leaf. This is also known as parallel venation. Leaves of dicots come in many different shapes and sizes. Their veins go from the central midrib to the edge of the leaf, crossing and joining to form a netted pattern all over the leaf, which is known as reticulate venation. In the transverse section of a monocot stem, vascular bundles are seen scattered all around. Their roots, xylem and phloem are seen arranged in rings, while in case of dicots, vascular bundles are found in distinct rings, while roots and phloem are seen between the arms of xylem. Flower parts in case of monocots are always in multiples of 3, while in dicots they're in multiples of 4 or 5. Roots of monocots are fibrous, while the roots of dicots are tap roots.
Okay, now we understand more about kingdom Plantae. Now let's discuss further. Kingdom Plantae, or the plants in here, belong still to eukaryote domain. So domain eukarya pa rin sila. They are multicellular, and because they have chlorophyll, they can make their own food. The plants consist of two groups, the non-vascular and vascular plants. So pag sabing vascular, walang walang true roots, wala silang transport system na xylem and phloem. Unlike vascular plants, meron silang true root system and meron silang transport system. Yun nga yung tinatawag na xylem and phloem. Nakita din natin yun sa video kanina. So, non-vascular plants do not have tissues to transport water and food. Pag water, ang tawag dun sa transport system na ginagamit ay xylem. Pero pag food, it's called phloem. So, walang ganun yung vascular plants. Vascular plants naman, they have those xylem and phloem. And also, true roots, meron sila. Ang transport ng water ay mula sa roots pataas papunta sa mga leaves. Okay, they supply water. So, yung xylem yung bahala doon. While the food from the leaves naman, kasi doon gumagawa ng food, di ba? May mga chlorophyll doon sa leaves, and then using the light, they manufacture their own food. So, mula yun sa top, sa mga leaves downward. Ganun ang transport system naman ng food. Ang ginagamit doon ng halaman ay tinatawag na phloem. So, what are the examples of non-vascular plants? Example niyan are liverworts, mosses. Yan, madalas yung mga mosses na nakikita natin dumidikit sa mga masamasang pader, sa mga bato, ganyan. Also, the liverworts and hornworts. They are attached to the places where they live by means of their root-like rhizoids. So, yung ugat nila ang tawag rhizoids. These rhizoids absorb water and nutrients instead of true roots. At saka pagapang sila. Okay? Pag kumapit sila, pagapang. Vascular plants, they have tissues to transport water and food. Examples are spore-bearing plants, yung may mga spores, tulad ng ferns sa ilalim nun, pag hinawakan mo yung mga spores. Next, seed-bearing plants, so yung may mga buto. And flower-bearing plants, nagbe-bear sila ng flowers. Meron din tayong tinatawag na gymnosperms. So, seed plants consist of those which bear seeds contained in cones and those inside a protective layer tissue. These are plants whose seeds are born in cones. So, pag cones, gymnosperms. Examples noon, conifers, cycads, ginkgos, and netophytes. There are some plants that are harmful to animals, humans, and even to other plants. So, care must be taken for the cows and other animals na like goats, lambs, sheep, carabaos, and other livestock should not be grazed in areas where sorghum grows because they are harmful. Next, kung meron tayong gymnosperm na nagbe-bear ng cones, ito naman angiosperm flowering plants. Since they bear flowers as well as fruits, and these fruits are involved in the reproduction and development. The angiosperms are classified according to their lifespan. May nabubuhay na annual lang, yung a year like rice and corn, and then biennial, 2 years, and then perennial, they live for many years. Example, chichirica and bamboo trees, matagal ang buhay niyan. So that ends our topic about Kingdom Plantae.